think my Jeep's overheating. I don't know what to do. Guess it's time to get the grinder. Oh yeah. Staying cool now, boys. Today we're going to be talking about why is my Jeep Cherokee overheating a little bit. So stay tuned. My Jeep usually runs about right here on a normal day. It could be 80, 90 degrees. Now, if I'm in traffic, it will probably get a little bit past this notch right here, which is fine. They're a hot motor to begin with. You got to think that your hood is shut while you're sitting in traffic and your clutch fan's barely spinning, and sometimes your electric fan kicks on. That's what we're getting ready to talk about. Sometimes your heat gauge will get clear up here. Now, if your heat gauge is getting clear up here, sitting in traffic, you got something wrong. If it's just going a little bit above this white line, you're perfectly fine, as long as it don't go any farther than that. Now, the last video I had off-roading, it was a totally different story. Mine went to 260 because my electric fan wasn't working and my clutch fan's kind of bad. We addressed that a couple videos ago, but off-roading is totally different from a Jeep just kind of getting hot, sitting in traffic. But like I said, if it's getting hot, this hot, sitting in traffic, there's something wrong. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. So the best thing you can do for an off-roader like myself, if you're going to be creeping, not going very fast, the best thing you can do is, this applies for even people driving on the streets. First thing you want to do is go out there, let your Jeep cool down, and check your radiator. Pull the cap off, and if you have any kind of residue in there of rust, thick, grimy stuff, or a little bit, you need to flush your system. You got to think, if there's a little bit on your radiator cap, it could be out through the whole system. What happens is when people put new antifreeze in these, they get straight antifreeze and they use sink water. Tap right off the tap, like your house or a hose. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to use distilled water. I try to stay away from that. I just run 50-50 after I flush it. Once they do that, they use tap water, it kind of corrodes the inside. It wants to rust, and it just don't have rust. It's just not rusty water. It literally starts to gum up in there. Now, when I first got my 5-speed, that thing would overheat sitting in traffic so bad. But I had to flush everything. I even took the radiator out. I flushed it. I flushed every hose. I flushed the heater core. I mean, I made sure I flushed this thing good, put a new thermostat on it. You can't just do a half crap job of flushing something and expect it to cool. So the reason why I'm on this topic, because I see it a lot on Jeep forums. Like I said, if it goes a little bit past the white line in the middle, you're okay, because like I said, you're sitting in traffic and you know it's normal. A lot of newer cars, you can say, oh, my newer cars don't do that. Well, because it's a better design. Like I said, the 4.0 runs a little hot anyway. It's hot-natured, and it's not good. From my experience, I've had dual fans on my red Cherokee that I used to have, and it stayed cool. I mean, it was at the first notch. Now, what happened was, it started running really rough, and the check engine light wasn't on. I tested all the sensors, and what happened, I pulled the manifold back off, and it was carboned up. So I don't know if keeping it too cool is bad, which I think it is. But when you're off-road, if you're an off-roader like myself, what I did was I flushed the system. This Jeep here, this Project Jeep here, did have a little bit of rust water in the radiator. Didn't look that bad, but I took the radiator out. I flushed everything, and there was gobs on the water pump. The water pump was about shot, where it was just gobbed around there. Even though it's not in the radiator, it's out through your system. So you got to think, if that's all gobbed up, you know, you're not getting proper flow through the motor. So I flushed all that out. Then we addressed the fan issue, and I put it on a toggle switch. I know a lot of people, like, all that switch ain't going to last very long. I just kind of rushed that video a little bit. There is a relay and there is a fuse link between that, so it should be okay. Another thing, when you're crawling real slow, I went out and tried it again, and it did get a little hot, a little bit past the white line, like I was sitting in traffic, just crawling through the woods. But I wanted the heat to escape a little bit better out of the hood, because these are kind of like a boxy kind of deal, and there's no place for the heat to escape in these things. I didn't want to get the stupid spacers that lifted the hood up in the back. So, like I said, I just went and got E-vents and put it in there. Even though some people think it looks good, some people thinks it looks janky, it works. I'm not about looks. If it performs, it performs. It's not about looks. If your Jeep staying cool because you put some E-vents in there, hey, I tell you what, after I got the fan addressed, the Grand Cherokee clutch on the fan, which you'll see a video of that in the future, it's pretty self-explanatory. After I got that on there and the hood vents, this thing right here, you could probably put this thing low lock and hold the brake and go as slow as possible on a 100-degree day, and it will stay cool. It'll be right at a little bit above 210. No matter what you do off-road, you are going to run a little hotter. Same way with sitting in traffic with a stock Cherokee, you will run a little hotter on a hotter day. So if it's just getting, you know, a little bit past the, you know, the third mark, straight up and down, a little bit past, you're okay. As long as it ain't like going to 260 and keep rising. You need to address what's going on. Like I said at the beginning, make sure, let's just recap here. If you got any kind of rusty water or residue, stay away from putting tap water in your Cherokee. It's bad on it. It's not good. If you can, just try to buy 50/50 after you flush it. 2, make sure your fans are working. Make sure your clutch fan's good. Make sure your electric fan's working. And 3, if you're an off-roader like me, you can put hood vents in there. You can go spend a lot of money on hood vents if you want. I'm not about looks, like I said. So I thought I'd address that a little bit. It's not a big deal. I've seen it a lot on Jeep forums. It's like the #1 question right now. And you know, my Jeep's overheating a little bit. Is it normal? From what I understand, from my experience, it is normal. The coolant in my 5-speed Jeep, it's perfectly green. It's beautiful, and it runs just a little bit hotter setting in traffic. But it runs below the second notch driving, which is understandable. And my electric fan barely kicks on, rarely kicks on. So that's kind of like my daily driver, so I don't really do a lot of mods to it. It is lifted a little bit, 3.5 inches with some 31s, and I drive it to work and stuff. So I try to keep the upkeep on it. But other than that, if you guys have any more questions about anything, you can leave them in the comments below. I thought I'd do like a little talk video here about the radiator because it's the #1 question on the Jeep forums. That's what I do. I go through Jeep forums to see what the #1 question is, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are curious too about it, and I make a video on it. I went ahead and went with a do-it-yourself kit because here's what happened. Here's why I went with the do-it-yourself kit. So I started looking online, and I started looking at material. I was going to build my own so I can show you guys how to build one. Well, I don't have metal just laying around, so I went to some machine shops, priced some metal. Now, to price the metal, the welding wire, I'm not even going to count my labor, and all the stuff that I need to do this, it would cost me around $375, okay? And that's, I have to do it from scratch, mock it up, no frame tie-ins, I got to buy those, or I could even make those. That'd probably even cost more. So what I did is got on Dirtbound Off-Road, and I ordered one of their do-it-yourself kits. Now, why did I do that? Because it comes with the hardware, the frame tie-ins, and it's pretty much self-explanatory. That's a steal, and the only thing I'll have in it is like $1.99 and maybe $20 for a roll of wire in my labor, and that's not very much. Now, the whole winch situation, here's what I'm going to go with. The bumper that I got has a hitch receiver that goes in there. You got to weld it in there. So what I'm going to do is get a winch receiver. It can pull it out. Why am I going to do that? I live in like of a town kinda, and some places I go are kind of ghetto like, and I really don't want to get a winch stolen because it's happened around here before. So my idea is when this thing's just sitting here off trail, I'm not using it, I can pull the receiver out, put it in my building or whatever, the garage, lock it up, and it's secure. And that way, the reason why I wanted to do it that way, I know you guys are like, oh man, you shouldn't have went that route. You should have got a full-blown winch bumper, you know, bolts on the front. But the reason why I did that, if I get stuck and I can't winch forward, I can slide it out of the front, slide it in the back of my receiver for the bumper that I got, and it'll work. Get me out. That way I'm not, I don't know. It just makes more sense to me. I can use it more that way, even if I'm going to pull some trees or anything like that. So I thought it was more of a good idea. I thought it was a better idea to use it that way. So I don't know. I don't think I went on a bad route. I think I went on a good choice. Leave in the comments below what kind of winches you guys like. I don't know, let me know if you had any good luck with Harbor Freight winches or good expensive winches or medium winches, you know, medium price winches, just let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you guys want to see on this Jeep. Try to stay budget friendly, because this is the whole point. I want to be low center of gravity and budget friendly. If you go back and watch my last video, it tells you how much money I have in this Jeep so far, which is $3 grand and like 600 some odd dollars, which is not bad for a $500 Jeep. So my plans are, I want to upgrade the axles. That's farther down the road. The bumper installs are coming. So she's ready to wheel, trying to get some people together, get out wheeling. I mean, I'm set up, I'm ready to go, minus the winch and stuff. So that's still being thought out, what kind of winch and stuff I want. Make sure you go ahead and check out all my social media links. They will be in the description below. You can go see Jeep of the Week. That's on Facebook, on Instagram. If you want to be featured in Jeep of the Week, you can go ahead and follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And you can send me a picture of your Jeep, the information of your Jeep, like what kind of lift you got. If you have a 5-speed, or maybe you did a V8 swap, it could be a Wrangler, Grand Cherokee. As long as it says Jeep, you may be featured in Jeep of the Week. People's been killing it here lately. I've been going through emails and Instagram posts, and I mean everything. So you guys can tag me in them. I don't care. I'm not picky about that. Tag me in them or whatever. Whatever you guys want to do for me to see them, that's fine. You guys can message me anything you want. I think about opening up a P.O. box. That's something you guys want me to do, I would do that too. So I like to give back to the subscribers that support me, because I had that tie rod flip kit in the last video, which another subscriber won that. I like to give back to my subscribers because they support me. It's not really a hook. I don't want it to be a hook like, oh, I'll give you this if you watch my videos. The way I want it, you know, if you watch my videos, I just don't want you to watch my videos and, you know, you get some good tips out of it. You get some bad tips you might not like. You get stuff that you might not like, but I like. But you still have a chance of winning something, because, you know, the more this channel grows, the more stuff and the bigger priced stuff I can get to give away. So always keep that in mind. This is not just some ordinary channel that's just wanting you to donate all kinds of money, because I see that so much on YouTube. People are like, well, if you only donate $1 a month, that could really help this channel out. Yes, it does help. Like I said, I do put ad revenue on my video. It helps me continue to build onto this Jeep, and it's not taking so much from my pocket. So if it wasn't for you guys, a lot of this stuff, you know, cannot happen. But just always keep in mind, you're not just always giving me stuff. I'm always going to give back. Now, I can't give everybody, you know, something. So that's why we do like random picks and stuff. So you never know, you might win something. We have stickers in the making. I've already sold 20 of them already. I already have those sent out. I just kind of did like a little run to see how many people would want them, which I'm kind of impressed, because a lot of people wanted stickers. It's just a Cherokee. It says Cherokee.ronnie with a CR, stands for Cherokee.ronnie. Just something simple right now, something easy. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you ain't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that little bell on the side so you know when I upload a video. Check back often. I'm Cherokee.ronnie. Stay dirty, my friends.